The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. Is it any good? It is important to establish a fact before continuing this video. The Legend of Zelda is my favorite series of all time. My first game of the series was Ocarina of Time back on the Nintendo 64, and I would play almost every game of the series, completing absolutely everything there was to do in them. That being said, one of my weak points on my early game days was portable gaming. For me, portable consoles were child's play. The Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive were the true machines for a mature 10 years old kid like me. It took me years to finally play the original Link's Awakening, and I never completed the Oracle games. Even the DS ones, a console that never left my pocket, were mostly ignored. But Link's Awakening was special. It had something weird. Something I wasn't really prepared to experience. Something different. So, about the game. Link's Awakening was released for the original Game Boy in the distant year of 1993, with a remastered version following in 1998 for the Game Boy Color, called Link's Awakening DX. It starts with Link cruising on his boat through the sea when a storm rises in the sky. His boat is destroyed by the waves, and the young hero ends up stranded on a beach of an unknown island. Link wakes up in a house, finding himself rescued by Marin, and discovers he is in Koholint Island. Darin, Marin's father, lets the boy know that he found his shield by the beach, and they also saw a sword there. When Link finds his sword, a mysterious owl appears, saying that in order for him to get out of the island, our hero must wake up the Wind Fish. Now, Link must travel through Koholint Island, recover the 8 instruments, and awaken the Wind Fish. During this adventure, he will uncover the truth behind the island and its inhabitants, in a journey that becomes more emotionally complex and painful as we approach the end. Link's Awakening was created using its 16-bit sibling, A Link to the Past, as the blueprint of the adventure. Therefore, several aspects of the Super Nintendo game are transported to the Game Boy one. The angle of view is once again from the top, with some side-scrolling sequences here and there. We have a world map, several items to collect and NPCs to interact with. But right from the start, you have a change that makes a huge difference. You don't have a sword. This is the first game of the series where you are able to unequip it and use any of your other items in its place. This allows some inventive new abilities for Link, like bomb arrows and being able to run and jump reaching a longer distance. This changes dramatically how some of the puzzles are designed, making the player think a lot more on the possibilities of mixing items. Control-wise, we feel the limitations of only having 2 action buttons on the Game Boy. As the game is very item dependent, we have to constantly change between them, which causes us to go back and forth on the pause menu whenever we need to swap for another one. Even saving is complicated, as you have to press A, B, Start and Select all together, which wasn't such a hassle on the Game Boy, but it requires some finger-stretching work to do the same on the Switch Pro controller. It is a very easy game though, one where you can spam your regular attack on bosses to destroy them with ease. The only thing that may render newcomers' progress is a mandatory item trading sequence that affects several parts of the game. Visually and sound-wise, it is impressive what Nintendo was able to achieve here. Fitting all of this in a Game Boy cartridge is impressive. It may not look much for today's standards, but back then, Game Boy games didn't reach half the quality of what this one provides. What I believe is the most impactful aspect of the game is the story. There are several sequences in the game that feel out of place for the series. We can find other Nintendo characters everywhere, from the Chain Chomp we have to rescue at some point, to a big frog from a dream that teaches us how to sing. Even Kirby appears at some point trying to inhale us. Characters break the fourth wall constantly. Right in the beginning of the game, a child tells us how to save it by pressing a sequence of buttons and exclaims that he doesn't know what he's talking about, as he's just a kid. Another character tells us that he is going to be lost in the future, so he asks us to keep an eye on him. And yes, he eventually gets lost in the middle of the mountains. But I believe the heart of the game is Marin. She is really happy to have met Link, and dreams of getting to know the outside world. She also shares with Link some of the more heartfelt scenes. Her kindness helping her friends in the animal village, as well as her curiosity over Link's adventures, makes her the first character of the series we are compelled to help. So, is The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening good? Yes, definitely. It is not only impressive that the developers were able to fit so much into the Game Boy, but is a Legend of Zelda game so emotionally complex that a few of its big console brothers could impact us at the same level. The game does a great job to stand beside the best of the series, and, in my humble opinion, it is a better experience in general than A Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo. The music is beautiful, even more considering the limitations of the hardware. The Ballad of the Windfish is one of my favorite songs of the entire series. The story, which navigates between the weird and intriguing, carries us to the heartbreaking journey. And for every new dungeon, every new discovery, the consequences of awakening the Windfish feels heavier and heavier, to the point where, at the end of the game, after defeating the final boss, we question ourselves. Did we do the right thing? Thank you for watching the video, I hope you enjoyed it. I stream on that Purple Stream service every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, around 9:30 PM Eastern Time, depending on what time the kid goes to sleep. So, if you want to join me, feel free to do so. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment if you want to. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and see you all in the next video.